Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, March 31st. We're back down here at the top of the stairs from the beach, and we're here for another poem of the day. It is very cold here today. So cold that on my walk down here, it's about a third of a mile. It was snowing for real. I'm going to be a little quicker than normal today because it's brisk. And it's not windy, but there's just enough of a little breeze blowing that it is rather unpleasant. So last day of March, we're here with another poem of the day. So one of my students, I've been reaching out. Been reaching out to my students via Classroom and hello, welcome. If you're new to the poem of the day, or if you've been checking them out, a handful of my students have commented like, "Hey, I actually watched your video," which is cool. So thank you, welcome. If you're just joining us, and shout out to the original subscribers and folks who've been here longer than just today. One of my students, and if you haven't, subscribed or checked it out, even no pressure. Would be cool if you replied to my question on Classroom, but there's a lot going on. It's really busy right now, so I understand. My feelings aren't hurt or anything. It's fine. So, one of my students, actually a handful of my students, actually did reach out and say that The Gift by Lee Young Lee really kind of stuck out to them. I don't know if it was maybe I don't know if I spoke my truth. I don't know if I said anything that was necessarily eye-opening or anything like that, but it was a poem about a small moment with someone's dad, and I love that poem, and I love this poem, which also kind of happens to be about that. I don't necessarily know that I chose it because of that reason, or if it was sort of subconscious, like, well, if you like that one, check out this one, which I know a lot of English teachers do. We see someone reading a book and like, oh, if you like that book, or basically just the back of an Amazon, or the back of a book, or an Amazon review, or customers who bought this also bought this. In any event, here's another poem about a small moment with someone's dad. This is a poem by Carol Ann Davis, and it's called Tips from My Father. So I'm happy to share that with you today. Come out here, he'd call from the yard. I want to show you Mars. I'd stand just in front of him, follow his finger up into the sky, the house spinning away from us till nothing mattered but my father's hand and his 100 planets. And his voice a pause before he found it, then, there it is. Maybe I saw it. This is how he taught me, in case I was ever lost at sea or in the desert, how to navigate my way back home. With each new season, a new sky to learn, a serious business like reading a map. Look here, he'd say. This is something you might need. For all of the same reasons, I spoke about on Sunday. I feel really fortunate to have still have what I think is a really excellent relationship with both of my parents. I hope they feel the same way about me. Oh, I can. What happens if one of my parents is like, I found your YouTube channel? Yikes. I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by such good examples of parents and guardians and adult role models and friends and mentors and things like that, from my own parents, my own dad, who, we had a telescope growing up. My dad helped me build a Newtonian reflecting telescope for the 5th grade science fair. I was such a nerd. I'm still such a nerd. But it started early, and my dad supported that. And even though we do different things in terms of vocation. I feel like a lot of, whether or not he realizes it, a lot of the things that he taught me and instilled in me over the years have stuck, though we may have made fun of him endlessly for either the lessons themselves or the methods or media he used to convey it. If you can ask my 3 younger siblings, we laugh at our dad a whole lot. But it's working. It's worked. It's sticking. I remember last year I was fortunate enough to travel to Europe with one of our runners who was competing in the European cross-country championships, and we had a brief moment while he was warming up right before his race where Mr. Richardson and I, we shared a brief moment, and he gave me a very small piece of advice. And I don't know that I necessarily need to share the advice with everyone, but it was true advice, it was good advice, it was sound advice, and it was meaningful advice. And so that's another example. I've learned a lot from the positive examples of dads in my life, whether or not they've actually been trying to teach me something. So, in spite of my lesser glorious moments, like trying to see if I could probably almost make it home even though the tire was flat. It was only a couple more miles, which, yeah, I'm still sorry about that. Or, the other things that I foolishly did, which probably seemed at times like I was doing them on purpose to antagonize my father. I promise you I was not. I usually was not. Yeah, the little things, those little tips, actually from my father, stuck. And I'm very grateful for them. So, thanks, Dad. Thanks to all you dads. Thanks to all you parents out there, who again are still very much, very, very, very much getting used to this world of it's all of the best parts of summer, like spending time together, without any of without lacking any of the hard parts of summer. Like, we're still working and trying to figure out how that goes, and things like that. So, I promised you I was going to be quick about it because it's so cold, and I have spoken for longer than I have, I think, over the last 3 days. So, I think that's probably something I either subconsciously or overtly learned from my dad. I didn't always get his extended metaphors, but I got what he was saying. I still don't get some of his extended metaphors, but I get what he's saying more now than I think I ever have before, now that I've been a dad. Coming up on my 1-year anniversary of being a dad. I'm pretty excited about it. It's, it's still a rookie. I still have my training wheels. But in any event, this has been your final March 2020 poem of the day. We will we'll find something equally spectacular to every other day for tomorrow when we kick off National Poetry Month, the month of April, the month of not only my birthday, but my mom's birthday and my son's birthday. So there's going to be some really good stuff coming up in April. I can feel it now that we're all getting good at this poem of the day. So keep taking care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be nice to people. Reach out to someone you haven't reached out to in a while. Let them know you're thinking of them. Ask them how they're doing. The answer might not be okay, but that doesn't matter. Just be good to yourselves. Be good to each other, which is a lot easier said than done. But it's important that we remember that. Okay? All right. We will be back tomorrow to kick off National Poetry Month. Until then, this has been your poem of the day. See you later.